crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with NewsSource Scrawlers May 23, 2025 edition. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube Music Charts, Global Top Songs May 9 to May 15, 2025. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT, Rose and Bruno Mars. Paso Bame Solto, Slowed, ATLXS. El Mayor de los Ranas, Victor Valverde and J.R. Torres. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, May 9 to Thursday, May 15, 2025. Ordinary, Alex Warren. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Birds of a Feather. Billie Eilish. APT, Rose, Bruno Mars. Steam's Hottest Games. Global top selling and top played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list for Tuesday, May 6, 2025 to Tuesday, May 13, 2025. Counter-Strike 2. Destiny 2. Claire Obscur, Expedition 33. Doom, The Dark Ages. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA is increasingly aware of unsophisticated cyber actors targeting ICS/SCADA systems within U.S. critical infrastructure sectors, oil and natural gas, specifically in energy and transportation systems. One more drop in the ocean of AI. Index Team's Index Anisora, this project presenting Bilibbili's gift to the anime world. Index Anisora, the most powerful open-source animated video generation model. It enables one-click creation of video shots across diverse anime styles including series episodes, Chinese original animations, manga adaptations, VTuber content, anime PVs, mad-style parodies, and more. Powered by our IJCAI 25 accepted work on Isora. Russia seeks to ban Game of Thrones, Harry Potter over child-free ideology. Italy's court says 2 mothers can register as parents on birth certificates. In the UK, net migration halved in 2024 to 431,000, ONS says. It has been reported as UAE recruiting US personnel displaced by Doge to work on AI for its military. Stargate UAE AI data center to begin operation in 2026, an OpenAI, Oracle, NVIDIA, SoftBank Group and Cisco partner for Stargate UAE AI campus. Bloomberg comments as US-China tensions over chips risk hurting trade truce dialogue. 3 days ago, China says US undermined trade talks with Huawei chip warning. Google moves to reassure EU cloud users amid concern over Trump threat. OpenAI to buy AI device startup from Apple veteran Johnny Ive's $6.5 billion deal, and OpenAI plans to ship 100 million pocket-sized AI devices for everyday use, and Johnny Ive's AI gadget rumored to be slightly larger than Humane's AI pin. Android Auto gets video and browser apps soon, more weather apps finally coming. Anthropic's new AI model turns to blackmail when engineers try to take it offline. Time reports that new Claude model triggers stricter safeguards at Anthropic. Anthropic's new hybrid AI model can work on tasks autonomously for hours at a time, as Anthropic launches Claude 4, its most powerful AI model yet. U.S. illegally deported Vietnamese and Burmese migrants to South Sudan, as judge says DHS unquestionably violated order with attempted South Sudan deportations. Greek court charges 17 Coast Guard officers over 2023 migrant shipwreck, say sources. Hacker Conference Hope says U.S. immigration crackdown caused massive crash in ticket sales. Netanyahu accuses leaders of Britain, France and Canada of emboldening Hamas. Israel blames Europe after embassy staff shot dead in U.S., and Israeli military fires warning shots at foreign diplomats in occupied West Bank. 2 Israeli embassy staff killed outside Jewish museum in Washington, 1 suspect arrested. New York Times comments as, pro-Palestinian movement faces an uncertain path after embassy attack. Trump falsely claims Australia being inundated by white South Africans fleeing genocide, and Trump ambushes African leader with claim of Afrikaners being persecuted, as Trump lectures South African president in televised Oval Office confrontation. South Africans praise Ramaphosa for keeping cool amid Trump attack, and South African president calls out Trump, "I'm sorry I don't have a plane to give you." 3 days ago, Washington Post reported that Trump plans to press South African leader on genocidal rhetoric. Trump's image of dead white farmers came from Reuters footage in Congo, not South Africa. Palestinian minister reports 29 starvation-related deaths among Gazan children, elderly. Israel preparing to strike Iran fast if Trump's nuclear talks break down, and Iran's top diplomat says special measures may be taken to defend nuclear sites from Israel. Netanyahu says Trump's forced displacement plan is conditioned for ending war on Gaza, and Israel PM Netanyahu dismisses speculation of rift with Trump. AI chatbots can leak hacking, drug-making tips when hacked, reveals study. Judge rejects arguments that AI chatbots have free speech rights in lawsuit over teen's death, and U.S. court rules Google and Character.ai must face lawsuit filed by mother over chatbot's alleged role in her teenage son's tragedy. U.S. House passes 10-year moratorium on state AI laws. Microsoft says 394,000 Windows computers infected by Llama malware globally, and Llama infostealer malware operation disrupted, 2,300 domains seized. Researchers dump 2 billion scraped Discord messages online. In the U.S., Senator Wyden says senators weren't warned about surveillance on phones. Chinese scientists prove U.S. Air Force's Mach 16 engine concept feasible. 3 months ago, Chinese scientists build world's first jet fuel-powered engine for Mach 16 flight. Germany deploys permanent troops to another country for the first time since World War II, as MERS inaugurates a historic German brigade in Lithuania and pushes for security spending. Pakistan, India agree to withdraw troops by end of May, resume iconic border ceremony. Turkey's Erdogan says he has no interest in being re-elected. Lincoln's bloodstained gloves from the night of his assassination among 144 artifacts on auction, as Abraham Lincoln artifacts to be auctioned to pay off Foundation's debt. Britain considering chemical castration for sex offenders under prison reforms, and prisoners to be eligible for release after serving a third of sentence. Amazon gives refunds for years-old returns, as Amazon sending refunds for returns it never received, as far back as 2018. Chiquita fires thousands of striking banana workers in Panama, says it suffered $75 million losses. US DOT confirms Trump order to get truck drivers who aren't proficient in English off the road. Google is baking Gemini AI into Chrome. Apple plans glasses for 2026 as part of AI push, Nix's watch with camera. Chatbot Arena Group goes from academic project to $600 million startup. Infrared contact lenses allow people to see in the dark, even with their eyes closed. Brembo develops brakes with almost no brake dust and less wear. NASA's Mars Perseverance snaps a selfie as a Martian dust devil blows by. UK signs essential Chagos Islands deal with Mauritius, says China sought its collapse, as UK signs Chagos deal with Mauritius to seal future of US-UK airbase. 1 day ago, UK court puts last-minute block on a deal to hand Chagos Islands to Mauritius. North Korea state media reports serious accident at warship launch ceremony, as Kim Jong-un's new warship capsizes at launch due to absolute carelessness, and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un condemns warship accident as criminal. Venezuela bans arrival of flights from Colombia following arrests in an alleged anti-government plot, and Argentine national among alleged conspirators arrested in Venezuela. Turkish central bank keeps end 2025 inflation forecast at 24%. China cuts key lending rates to record lows to counter the impact of U.S. tariffs. U.S. government to stop making pennies after more than 200 years. Trump says he's seriously considering taking Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac public. Investors dump bonds globally as U.S. credit downgrade, Trump's tax bill ignite fiscal worries. In the U.S., babies to be given $1,000 Trump bank accounts. Wind-related hurricane losses for homeowners in the southeastern U.S. could be nearly 76% higher by 2060. Penguin guano is an important source of climate-relevant aerosol particles in Antarctica. Clownfish survive heat waves by shrinking, study reveals. Security nightmare, researcher finds trove of 184M exposed logins for Google, Apple, more. In the U.S., CISA announced that Russian GRU targeting Western logistics entities and technology companies. Reuters reports that hacker who breached communications app used by Trump aide stole data from across U.S. government. AI coding startup Replit CEO says companies soon won't need software developers. Microsoft worker sacked after 25 years of service on birthday, wife shares emotional post. Meta is about to start rating more workers as below expectations, internal memo shows. Millennials are sharing recession tips on TikTok. As millennials are doling out recession survival tips to clueless Gen Z, we don't panic. We prepare. Argentina's Milei severs more rights to strike via decree. Outcry as Denmark's retirement age to become highest in Europe at 70. Wall Street Journal reports that Trump tells European leaders in private that Putin isn't ready to end war, European officials say. Bloomberg comments as Trump hands Putin win with retreat from Ukraine peace talks. In the EU, Parliament approves new tariffs on Russian and Belarusian agricultural goods and on fertilizers. Moscow won't allow Russian speakers in Ukraine to remain under rule of Zelensky's junta, Lavrov says. The Lancet, globally the health of adolescents is at a tipping point, action needed to tackle rising threats to young people's health and well-being, as more than 1 billion young people will suffer from health problems by 2030, and 500 million young people will be obese or overweight by 2030, report finds. Sleep plays an important role in sustainable weight loss. China's 2019 fentanyl embargo led to drop in U.S. overdoses, study finds. Harvard University loses student and exchange visitor program certification for pro-terrorist conduct, as Trump administration bars Harvard from enrolling international students, and Harvard ban is warning to other universities, Noam says. Trump administration says Columbia violated Jewish students' civil rights. Microsoft is reducing politically focused emails after employees discovered messages mentioning Palestine, Gaza, or genocide were being blocked. Hawk Tuah girl Haley Welch claims Assisi, FBI cleared her for the Hawk memecoin disaster, and Hawk Tuah girl Haley Welch didn't know how crypto worked before meme coin disaster, as viral celeb finally speaks out, I got talked into it. Chief Executive Officer of digital asset company SafeMoon found guilty in multi-million-dollar crypto fraud scheme. Sam Altman's World raises $135 million in token sale to A16Z and Bain Capital Crypto. Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars delayed to December 2026 and 2027. Live-action film adaptation of Elden Ring announced. George R.R. Martin and Lion Forge to produce animated feature A Dozen Tough Jobs. U.S. launches first deep-sea mineral lease evaluation in 30 years near American Samoa. Pakistan to offer U.S. firms concessions on mining investment in tariff talks, says minister. Ghana to double small-scale gold mining output, expects $12 billion annual revenue. UK's 50 richest families hold more wealth than 50% of population, analysis finds. In the U.S., $54 trillion will transfer to widows through 2048, more than 95% will go to women. It has been reported as, it's unsafe, why Trump's gold card visa is failing to lure wealthy Chinese. Donald Trump Jr. hints at run for U.S. president. Trump dines with top meme coin holders, shrugging off ethics concerns. Crypto billionaire Justin Sun says he's the biggest owner of Trump's meme coin, will attend dinner with president, and Trump's crypto dinner cost over $1 million per seat on average. Reportedly, Trump raises $600 million in political donations, targets $1 billion for midterms to bolster agenda. It has been commented as, Trump thinks it was stupid not to cash in harder on his first term. He's making up for it. Hate groups in the U.S. decline but their influence grows, report shows. Muslim Brotherhood movement poses threat to national cohesion, French government report says. Germany arrests 5 teenagers over alleged right-wing extremist plot and attacks. Disney unveils first look at Zootopia 2, promises November release. Kieran Culkin joins The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping as Caesar Flickerman. Melania Trump gets help from AI to narrate 7-hour audiobook in her voice. In the U.S., new head of Social Security, hired from Wall Street, tells staff he had to Google the job when he was offered it. Amazon Tribe says New York Times story led to members being smeared as porn addicts. It has been reported 1 year ago as Elon Musk's Starlink brings internet to Amazon Tribe isolated for 1,000 years, now they face porn addiction, and Amazon Tribe sues New York Times over story it says led to porn addict claims. Marked decline in semicolons in English books, study suggests. HSBC launches Hong Kong's first blockchain-based settlement service with Ant International. Coinbase says recent data breach impacts 69,461 customers. In the U.S., it has been commented as, financial lobbying storm brews over possible credit card crypto bill pairing. In the US, 16 defendants federally charged in connection with Danabot malware scheme that infected computers worldwide. In the US, leader of Cacbot malware conspiracy indicted for involvement in global ransomware scheme. MNS blames human error for cyber attack that will hit profit by £300 million. Russia to enforce location tracking app on all foreigners in Moscow. European Parliament to stage urgent debate on Hungary's spring clean law. 1 week ago, Hungary considering law to ban groups seen as threat to national sovereignty. NYC bets on AI surveillance to clean up subways, predict criminal behavior. Solana climbs back into tokenization spotlight as R3 brings big banks to its rails. Wall Street Journal reports that big banks explore venturing into crypto world together with joint stablecoin. Wall Street Journal reports that Apple, Tesla and Nvidia shares to trade as digital tokens on crypto exchange Kraken. Reuters reports that OnlyFans owner in talks to sell to investor group at about $8 billion value, sources say. Telegram jumps to $540 million profit despite founder facing legal peril. Nike set to raise prices next week, plans to sell on Amazon again. In the US, regulators are investigating whether Media Matters colluded with advertisers. ProPublica reports that more than a dozen US officials sold stocks before Trump's tariffs sent the market plunging. Trump Organization breaks ground on $1.5 billion golf club in Vietnam. Wall Street Journal reports that Publicis deepens influencer marketing push with deal for Captive 8. Netflix sets interactive reality series House of Streams, where streamers and content creators battle for Bitcoin. Disney Plus to enter women's football market with Champions League rights. In the US, First Maha Health Report calls for reassessing medicines, processed foods, pesticides. Trump says autism has to be artificially induced. In the US, FDA expands COVID vaccine warning about heart side effect risk for young males. China to donate $500 million to WHO, stepping into gap left by US. Mexican leader convinced US ties will stay positive after Donald Trump's election win. Investment, not tariffs, says Ishiba after telephone talks with Trump before third round of talks. BYD sells more electric vehicles in Europe than Tesla for first time. China's Xiaomi unveils electric SUV, new chip in bid to rival Tesla, Apple. In the US, FCC votes to bar Chinese labs from testing US tech if they've been deemed security risks.
Crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawlers May 21st, 2025 edition. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs May 9th to May 15th, 2025. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT, Rose and Bruno Mars. Paso Bame Solto Slowed. ATLXS. El Mayor de los Ranas. Victor Valverde and J.R. Torres. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, May 9th to Thursday, May 15th, 2025. Ordinary, Alex Warren. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Birds of a Feather. Billie Eilish. APT. Rose, Bruno Mars. Steam's Hottest Games. Global top selling and top played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list, for Tuesday, May 6th, 2025 to Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2. Destiny 2. Clair Obscur. Expedition 33. Doom, The Dark Ages. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA is increasingly aware of unsophisticated cyber actors targeting ICS/SCADA systems within U.S. critical infrastructure sectors, oil and natural gas, specifically in energy and transportation systems. One more drop in the ocean of AI. Index Steam's Index Anisora. This project presenting Bilibili's gift to the anime world, Index Anisora, the most powerful open-source animated video generation model. It enables one-click creation of video shots across diverse anime styles including series episodes, Chinese original animations, manga adaptations, VTuber content, anime PVs, mad-style parodies, Gerchu Donghua, and more. Powered by our IJCI 25, accepted work on Isora. Indonesia on high alert after volcano erupts 8 times in one weekend. Tropical forest loss doubled in 2024 as wildfires rocketed. 3 killed after floods ravage French Riviera region. SK Telecom says malware breach lasted 3 years, impacted 27 million numbers. Hong Kong police launched 3-month drone patrol trial in 2 districts. Telegram gave authorities data on more than 20,000 users. Trump selects $175 billion Golden Dome defense shield design, appoints leader, and China urges U.S. to abandon development of global anti-missile system. China research ship loitering near undersea cables report. In India, U.S. was neither involved nor informed on truce with Pakistan. Government tells parliamentary panel. Google moves toward universal AI, Gemini to gain context awareness and execution capabilities, and Google pushes AI upgrades, subscriptions as OpenAI's ChatGPT threatens search business. As Google pushes AI deeper into its empire of search, shopping, and work products at its developer conference. Google is rolling out AI mode to everyone in the US, and Google's Gemini AI is coming to Chrome. Google launches Veo 3, an AI video generator that incorporates audio. In the US, a 19-year-old Worcester College student to plead guilty to cyber extortions records of children and teachers. Krebs on security hit with near-record 6.3 Tbps DDoS. Coinbase data breach will lead to people dying, TechCrunch founder says, and theft of Coinbase customer data probed by Justice Department. Foxconn pumps $1.5 billion into India unit as Apple moves iPhone production from China. Malaysia to offer incentives for its chip-making industry, state media reports. U.S.-led peace talks could boost Rwandan processing of Congo minerals, sources say. SCMP reports that Stellantis, Chinese EV maker Leapmotor near decision on European production. 1 month ago, Stellantis suddenly ends Leapmotor EV production in Poland amid tariff tensions. Japan's Honda to scale back on electric vehicles, focus on hybrids. Volvo will be the first to install Google's Gemini in its cars. Britain, Canada, France threaten sanctions against Israel over Gaza, and UK suspends free trade talks with Israel over new Gaza offensive, as UK imposes sanctions on Israeli settlers, halts trade talks. Gaza ceasefire talks have not led anywhere, Qatari PM says. Israel recalls senior negotiation team from Doha for consultations, and U.S. negotiating Israel-Gaza ceasefire with Hamas through American in Doha, source says. Biden's cancer diagnosis renews transparency outcry. Trump claims cover-up. U.S. terminates $60 million in Harvard grants over alleged anti-Semitism. In the U.S., Senate unanimously approves $25,000 tax break for tipped workers. Lithuania takes Belarus to top on court over alleged migrant smuggling. Russia bans Amnesty International, which vows to redouble work on rights abuses. Trump refusing to adopt sanctions against Russia, as it would affect business opportunities with Moscow, NYT reports. Sesame Street is coming to Netflix with new streaming deal, and Peppa Pig follows Sesame Street to Netflix. New games for both kids' properties accompany series streaming deals. SAG-AFTRA files unfair labor practice charge over use of AI to make Darth Vader's voice in Fortnite. Darren Aronofsky's AI-focused studio Primordial Soup sets strategic partnership with Google DeepMind. Groups of AI agents spontaneously form their own social norms without human help, suggests study. AI is more persuasive than people in online debates, as AI can beat you in a debate when it knows who you are, study finds. Autonomous cars with social sensitivity cut threat to road users, study finds. In the U.S., Trump signs Take It Down Act, criminalizing deepfake and revenge porn. OnlyFans faces ban in Sweden, as country criminalizes purchase of custom sexual content. Configuration issue allows Civitai users to AI generate non-consensual porn videos. Reuters reports that Nippon Steel to invest $4 billion for new U.S. steel mill in $14 billion package, document says. Starmer hails new era of UK-EU relations as Badenoch says deal, taking us backwards, and the negotiations of EU-UK competition cooperation agreement started. Indian boycott of Turkish coffee, chocolates and fashion grows, as Turkey faces Indian backlash over Pakistan ties. 23andMe sells gene testing business to DNA drug maker Regeneron. It has been commented as, 23andMe sale shows your genetic data is worth $17. It has been reported as European green investments hold billions in fossil fuel majors. In France, French government covered up Nestlé mineral water scandal, Senate report shows, and Nestlé's fraud allegedly netted the industry giant over €500 million. Living beings emit a faint light that extinguishes upon death, according to a new study. Humpback whales give birth much farther south than previously thought, study finds. Scientists unearth almost complete dinosaur skeleton, and its skin is perfectly preserved. Capital One completes acquisition of Discover. Klarna marks 100 million customers as losses nearly double, as Klarna's losses widen after more consumers fail to repay loans. UK to regulate buy now, pay later lenders in legal overhaul. Chicago Sun-Times prints summer reading list full of fake books. Japanese minister resigns after saying he doesn't buy rice because he gets it free. New intelligence suggests Israel is preparing possible strike on Iranian nuclear facilities, U.S. officials say. Microsoft makes the Windows subsystem for Linux open source, after almost a decade of development. France becomes first government to endorse UN open source principles, joined by 19 organizations. Chinese smartphone exports to U.S. plunge to lowest since 2011. Belgium reverses phase-out policy as Denmark reconsiders nuclear. Germany drops opposition to nuclear power in rapprochement with France. First U.S. utility seeks permit for a small nuclear reactor. China makes world's first 5G satellite-to-phone video call. BBC Studios restructures production division with formation of unscripted and global units. Conan O'Brien joins Toy Story 5 as new character Smarty Pants. Crypto.com secures MiFID license through Cyprus acquisition, as Crypto.com secures EU license to launch crypto financial derivatives. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says the bank will let clients buy Bitcoin. Circle pursues IPO, but talks with Coinbase and Ripple could mean a sale, sources say. In the U.S., Charles Kushner, father of Trump's son-in-law, confirmed as ambassador to France. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says he will spend a lot less on future political campaigns. And Elon Musk says he will lead Tesla for at least another 5 years. It has been reported that Gulf deal-making spree also benefited Elon Musk and his family. Qatar Prime Minister says $400 million gifts are normal between friends, following Trump jet criticism. Secretary of State Rubio, clashing with senators, says China will not replace U.S. on global aid. Trump's trade war risks splintering the internet, experts warn. U.S. chip export controls are a failure because they spur Chinese development, Nvidia boss says. EU lowers growth forecast as U.S. tariffs expected to hit exports, as U.S. tariffs to drag euro area inflation to 1.7%, EU forecast reveals. LA port shipments fell 30% in early May after Trump tariffs. GM ends U.S. vehicle exports to China amid trade tensions. Apple may let EU users shift from Siri to other voice assistants. Fortnite is finally back on U.S. iPhones. Spotify's iPhone app will now let you easily buy audiobooks. France barred Telegram founder Pavel Durov from traveling to U.S., and Telegram's Durov says French spy chief asked him to ban conservative Romanian voices. SEC charges Unicoin, top executives with $100 million, massive securities fraud. Genesis sues DCG and Barry Silbert for alleged fraud and insider misconduct in $3.3 billion crypto dispute. World Health Assembly adopts historic pandemic agreement to make the world more equitable and safer from future pandemics. England to launch world-first gonorrhea vaccination program. In the U.S., FDA tightens requirements for COVID vaccine, adding trials for healthy adults, as FDA to limit COVID shot approval to 65+, those with medical conditions. Microsoft's AI security chief accidentally reveals Walmart's AI plans after protest. Apple to open AI models to developers, betting that it will spur new apps. Microsoft-backed UK tech unicorn builder, .ai collapses into insolvency. Supergiant crustaceans may cover more than half of the deep sea floor. Jupiter was formerly twice its current size, and had a much stronger magnetic field. Where you flirt matters. New research shows setting shapes romantic success. EU lifts economic sanctions on Syria, following U.S. move last week. In the U.S., Rubio warns Syria could be weeks away from full-scale civil war. EU adopts 17th sanctions package against Russia, with 189 additional vessels that are part of the shadow fleet of oil tankers or contribute to Russia's energy revenues, bringing the total number of listings to 342. EU to impose €2 tax on low-cost items in blow to Temu and Shine. Radical translation of Heart Lamp by Banu Mushtaq wins International Booker Prize. Magnus Carlsen held to draw by 143,000 players in largest ever online chess game. Pier Paolo Pacioli appointed creative director of Balenciaga. A downside of taurine, it drives leukemia growth. Cancer can be made worse by high-dose radiotherapy, surprising new study finds. Ancestor cell of animals and plants lived on hydrogen,